Module Overview. This module delves into the legal and regulatory dimensions of property valuation, emphasizing the framework that governs land, property rights, professional valuation conduct, and statutory compliance. Since valuation outcomes affect finance, taxation, compensation, transactions, and development, you must navigate a complex intersection of laws, codes, ethics, and professional standards. The module covers national and international legal instruments, land tenure systems, compulsory acquisition laws, professional licensing, dispute resolution, and valuation reporting standards. It aims to develop your ability to integrate legal literacy into valuation practice while upholding public interest and professional integrity. Introduction to legal concepts in real estate valuation. Every property exists within a legal context, defined by ownership structure, freehold, leasehold, customary, encumbrances, mortgages, liens, easements, statutory rights and obligations, zoning and planning laws. Understanding these legal parameters ensures that valuations are credible, enforceable, and risk-informed. 2. Land tenure and property rights. Different countries operate under varying land tenure systems, including freehold, fee simple, absolute ownership with full rights to use, lease, sell, or develop, leasehold time-bound interest in land granted by a freeholder, subject to lease conditions, customary or communal tenure, indigenous systems governed by community norms, often unwritten but recognized in law, statutory or government leases properties leased by the state with specific public use conditions. You must assess how tenure affects value, transferability, and marketability. 3. Key legal documents in valuation. Valuation must be based on valid documentation. Title deeds/C of O, certificate of occupancy, deed of assignment/lease agreement, survey plan, development approval building permit, tax clearance certificate. Authenticating these documents ensures the valuer is not valuing an interest that legally doesn't exist or is materially flawed. 4. Statutes and regulations affecting valuation. Valuation practice is directly impacted by legislation such as Land Use Act, Nigeria, or equivalent in other jurisdictions, property tax laws, planning and zoning regulations, environmental protection laws, compulsory acquisition, expropriation acts, rent control, and tenancy laws. These define what can legally be built, occupied, leased, taxed, or acquired, thereby influencing market value. 5. Compulsory acquisition and compensation valuation. Governments may expropriate land for public purposes, but must provide prompt, adequate, fair compensation. Valuers play a central role by determining fair market value before acquisition, assessing disturbance allowance, relocation costs, severance, and injurious affection, justifying compensation based on legal and empirical evidence. Errors in this context can lead to litigation or public protests. 6. Professional standards and ethics in valuation. You are expected to adhere to internationally recognized standards, including International Valuation Standards, IVS, set by the International Valuation Standards Council, IVSC, RICS, Red Book, issued by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, national regulatory bodies, e.g. Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria, SVARBON, NISV Code of Conduct, Nigeria. Similar councils globally. These codes demand impartiality, full disclosure, competence, objectivity, confidentiality. 7. The valuation report and legal liability. A valuation report is a legal document. It must be transparent, evidence-based, standardized in structure and content, accompanied by assumptions and limiting conditions. If a client suffers loss due to negligence or misstatement, the valuer can face civil liability, damages, professional sanctions, suspension or deregistration, reputational damage. 8. Litigation support and expert witness role. You may be called to serve as expert witnesses in courts for land disputes, divorce settlements, tax appeals, compensation claims, estate distributions. Their opinions must be supported by facts, clearly communicated, Cross-examination ready free from advocacy or bias. 9. Anti-money laundering, AML, and KYC requirements. Because property can be used for illicit financial flows, you are now part of anti-money laundering compliance. Know your client, KYC procedures. Suspicious activity reporting risk-based client profiling failure to comply could make a valuer liable under financial crimes laws. 10. Dispute resolution and regulatory oversight. Disputes may arise between client and valuer, two valuers with conflicting reports, government versus landowners. Mechanisms include arbitration, mediation tribunal hearings, professional disciplinary panels. You must maintain comprehensive records to defend their methods and opinions.